pelvic tilts. You're going to take your low back and lift it off of the floor and then press the low back into the floor. So I think most of you have probably done pelvic tilts at some point in your life. So you're taking this pelvis and you're rolling it forward and you're tilting it back. So you flatten your back and then you put a little arch in your back. Just back and forth a couple times here in a range that feels good. I've got my hands on my hip points, but you don't need them. If you know what you're doing and you feel like you can move your pelvis without monitoring it, that's okay. And then we're going to do a pelvic clock. So right now we're tilting your pelvis forward and back. Now we're going to take this middle part of your body and we're going to imagine that the 6 o'clock is down by the pelvis and the 12 o'clock is up here where your ribs come to a V. And we're going to move your tummy and your core in the shape of a clock. So we're going to try to make these little gentle circles using your tummy muscles, your low back muscles. Imagine you have a clock sitting there on your belly and you're trying to engage the muscles through that whole face of the clock. Now, some of you I know have done this before with me. Others might be thinking, I don't know what the heck you're doing. But what you're trying to do is engage and activate all of the muscles in your tummy, in your low back, your mid back, and work them. So we're making a circle in one direction still. We'll reverse direction in a minute. Now, as you're doing this, see if your feet are soft or if you're pushing really hard into the ground. And now let's go in the opposite direction, whatever direction you're trying to push and touch every number along that imaginary clock. You can imagine that you're actually on top of the clock, I guess is probably a better, like the clock is underneath your low back and you're trying to touch the numbers all along the face of the clock with your back. One direction is usually harder than the other. This is really gentle, trying to use your belly, not your feet. And then go ahead and release. If you'd like to do a full body stretch after that, either with both legs out or one at a time,